Okay, so this is what the My Medical Language Lab looks like through FADavis. Here are all of the shells and chapters that students learn taking this course. And we are looking at it as if a student was looking at it now. Of course, I am the student, so there is nothing done, but it would show their progress here in each chapter. So just as an example, I'm going to look at special senses, which is parts of the nervous system like eyes and ears and feelings. And we are going to look at the major parts of this program. So we will look at read. So this is where it takes which parts of the chapter I specifically want them to read. And it's an interactive version of the textbook, which makes it a lot more invoking for the student to read than to just read it alone. So here it gives a chapter overview. We see some images, objectives. So here's an eye. And just to give an example, you can see terms and definitions. Starts off with the foundation here, just like you would see in an anatomy class. And then you have interaction like this, which is anatomy review. So you label each part of these numbers here. So you can choose anterior chamber, ciliary body for number 1. And then you can look at this picture of the ear and do the same, and which numbers are attached to which makes this extremely interactive. And then we move on to elements of a word, and you write in your answer here. So this makes it very simple. And this is purely graded on participation. The students can repeat this as much as time. It works to their benefit because they are quizzed on these topics, and they are also have midterms and finals on these topics in this course. Then it goes into disease, which is a bit extra for this class, but it makes it a much more cutting edge class, looking at these diseases and disorders, being that they are going into the healthcare field. So looking at macular degeneration here, for example, here's the in and outs and the fundamentals with images, which is really nice. And the last part of this reading portion that is really nice I wanted to highlight is coming up in a few pages. Let me just get to it here, is the clinical portion. So there's actually case studies built into these chapters for each one of these body portions. So like urinary, digestive, skeletal, muscular. Let me just come up to it. Here's abbreviations. So here is a fill in the blank, which is, so you're hitting all different types of learning activities in the brain. So they're getting stimulus in many types of ways to work through these types of questions and to learn them in different ways. So here's the first example of a case study. So this is a surgeon's log of something lodged into someone's ear, and they're going to apply what they've learned so far through a medical terminology analysis, where they're looking at a term and writing in the definition, and then they get critical thinking. Did the surgery involve one or both ears? And this is pretty much goes similar through each chapter. It's really good to have case studies involved in these sorts of classes. And again, the definitions of inside the case study itself. So now I'm going to go back out of the reading portion and go to the next portion. So we're going to go to watch. So in watch with special senses, another example of learning from another angle. We don't all learn the same. So here they are.
Many terms pertaining to the senses are often abbreviated. Let's first look at several conditions associated with the eye. Astigmatism, referred to as AST, is a defect in the spherical curvature of the lens that causes images to appear distorted.
So they get these visual lectures, and then they go through pharmacology even, and disease and condition. I apologize for my dogs in the background. You can hear them.
Disorders of the eyes and ears are commonly treated by placing drops onto the surface of the eye or into the cavity of the ear.
So you can see this is much more than a simple medical terminology class where you just memorize and repeat what you've learned. And then there is critical listening, where you listen to something And then you continue to answer questions about what you listen. So we've had auditory, visual, and other methods of sensory learning for a student.
So, what brings you into the ophthalmologist today, Ms. Amerson?
I've been having trouble seeing things far away, sometimes when driving, so I figured I would check to see whether my eyes are going bad.
Well, you're a little too young for presbyopia. That usually happens around age 40. So we'll try to see what else is going on. And take a look at the chart on the wall. Can you read the bottom line?
No, I can read the top lines though.
Well, you probably have myopia. We'll try using some different lenses in front of your eye.
So they listen to a physician talking to a client, to a patient, and then what do ophthalmologists specialize in, right? So we're talking about eyes. And this question, the students would move on to the next questions. So this is where they're listening now. And then if they go back, the last would be responses, and these responses are here.
Excuse me, Anisha, can you help me for a moment?
Sure, Tamika, what's up?
The patient in exam room 3 has glaucoma. When she came in, I thought I would need to be aware that she may have increased intraocular pressure because of the aqueous humor not being able to drain from the eye properly.
Yes, that's correct.
Phew.
Were you worried about something?
For a moment, I was worried that I was mixing glaucoma up with cataracts.
So they listen to this conversation between two medical staff. They could be RNs or imaging technicians. And then they go into the questions, choose the response that best fits the context of this conversation. And so from here, that finishes their work for their participation. And I can grade them on this, and I can reply to them and see how the students are doing, what they're getting and what they're not getting. So I can emphasize exactly where I need to, where they're falling behind in. And this is a great tool and resource for instructors using the FADavis textbooks that come with this software for free. And I highly recommend it. It has made a huge difference in our students' grades, and the students who really take advantage of this are excelling highly in the class. Thank you.